Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Dave C's G.I. Joe commentary. Today we're going to talk about the 1984 G.I. Joe team. Here they are here. A couple more I have displayed on the far right that they're not in the view right now. But anyway, 1984 was a really great year for the Joe team, and they had a lot of excellent additions. With a lot of personality and character. And I guess what we can do is just start from the left and go to the right. This carrot top redhead guy is Thunder, and he came with the 1984 Slugger, which was a big tank that had wheels instead of treads. It had a massive howitzer gun, and here it is down here. And first there was the Mobat in '82, then there was the Wolverine, that was a tank, and then this one came out, and it had the biggest cannon by far of any G.I. Joe vehicle or toy at that time. And I remember getting it. I can't remember the month in 1984, but I definitely got this one, and I was kind of mesmerized by the the size of the cannon and just how cool it was. And I always liked the machine gun on there too. My tip's broken off here on it, but yeah, it was really cool to put Thunder in there and have him roll into action. In Bellamo's book, here's some different variants of it that mail-aways and what have you. And next here, to the right of Thunder, is 1984 Roadblock, who was the next man up for the heavy machine gunner position that was held previously by this guy down here, 1982 Rock and Roll, who had a M60 machine gun, and he had the ammo bandoliers crisscrossed on his chest, which was a really awesome look. And then Roadblock came out, and he had a big Ma Deuce 50 cal with the tripod, and he was a really funny character in the cartoon, and in the comic he added a lot of muscle to the Joe team. And on his file card it talked about him being a cook and a chef and really enjoying that. And in the cartoon there's some episodes about that as well. One with his aunt and uncle called Red Rocket Restaurants that he goes to, and but yeah, he's an all-time classic character, and definitely a lot of people's favorites. And next to him is 1984 Clutch, who came with the Vamp MK2, which was a moderation to the original 1982 Vamp. That's down here, and there's the 82 Clutch with it. And I had an 82 Vamp, and I think I lost it somehow at school at recess, that I recall. So when I was finally able in '84 to get the MK2, it's a desert version with kind of a brownish tan color to it. I was really excited because I had gotten a Jeep again, a G.I. Joe Jeep, and it was cool because it had two gas cans that could peg onto the back. They were removable, and instead of the laser cannon on the top, like the '82 Vamp, It had 4 missiles, like a missile launcher. It was pretty neat. And then behind him is 1984 Ripcord, who was a halo jumper, paratrooper, and the stuff that came with him was really awesome. He had a mask for high altitude jumping, and his machine gun was really cool. I really liked his camo. I wasn't able to get him back then. I couldn't find him on the pegs. Every time I seemed to go to Sears or Toys R Us or what have you, he just wouldn't be there. And sometimes that happened. I'm sure a lot of you guys had the same type of thing with different characters. So I never did actually own him. And his the guy that he was made after, kind of in the next line, is 1983 Airborne, who was an airborne operations guy. And there he is there. So Ripcord was the next guy in line for that type of a position. And then to his right is Cutter, 1984 Cutter. And he was the pilot, driver of the 1984 hovercraft. And there it is there. And I have a neat little story behind this one that I shared with you guys before. For Christmas 1984, I was so excited when I opened this thing up that I actually threw up. And I was just so happy, and I remember I couldn't believe how big it was, and the all the detail on it, and just being able to put guys down inside there and have them kind of come out like on a beach, kind of like a World War II D-Day craft, kind of, you know. You could make them all run out and charge the beach. And I really liked loading all the guys in there, and just a really awesome vehicle. Here's a box art for it here. And one day I'd like to get a box for this. Sometimes you can find them at a decent price. And it's actually a really big box. That was another reason why I think I threw up back then, because the box was so huge, and the art was just really cool. And next in line is the guy in the middle there. That's 1984 Blowtorch. And he was the flamethrower expert. He was one of the first Brighter Joes, but at that time he was kind of the only Bright Joe, so he was kind of a special kind of guy that a lot of collectors really enjoyed having. And I had him as well, and enjoyed playing with him. And then of course the next guy up here, that's Duke, the sergeant of the G.I. Joe team. And of course everybody knows him from the '83 cartoon. And they had him for a mail-away offer first, and then you could buy him on card. And this is the carded version that you could get. His crotch is broken, and I've read that quite commonly the crotches break on this figure. I don't know if the plastic is a little thinner down there on this guy or not, but yeah. So, and then next to him is Deep Six, who's a diver, who came with the 1984 Shark. And here it is down here, without the canopy, missing the canopy. But the guns on it, I remember enjoying back then, because they reminded me of a 1984 Trans Am, or a Fiero, and there's a little switch that you put forward and backward, and they'll kind of go up and down just like those headlights on that old car. And this guy here is his was his diver before before Deep Six came out. This was Torpedo, 1983 Torpedo, and he was the first diver type guy on the Joe team before this guy Deep Six. A lot of people always, or a lot of people kind of talk about his lack of articulation and how his arms can't bend, his legs, and I always thought he was cool, only because you had that pump, and there's a hose and a pump, an air hose, and if you pumped it, he would float, and if you let all the air out, he would sink. So he was kind of a neat kind of guy to have. I remember playing with him in the bathtub with the shark. And then over here, we've got 1984 Mutt and Junkyard, and he's a dog handler with his dog. And I remember back then seeing them in the store. I think it was at Eaton's up here in Canada. That was a store up here at a mall, and it was the first Joe that came with a pet, with something other than like a weapon, like a gun or what have you, or helmet or backpack, and it was a dog. And I remember just being blown away by that, and the card art was just killer. And yeah, but I remember thinking after I bought it and was opening it up, I was reading about it, and it was saying that the actual guy, his name was Junkyard, or sorry, his name was Mutt, and the dog's name was Junkyard. But to me, I couldn't figure that out, because obviously it had to be wrong, because the dog should be named Mutt, and you know, he should be named Junkyard. But that wasn't the case. But I think that was the play on words that Larry Hama was making a joke about, that he just reversed the names. And in Mark Bellamo's book, there's a write up here on it, and it says that Mutt, he actually likes dogs more than people, and it's kind of a interesting little write-up. But he was a really great character in the cartoon. My dog Timber actually looks like Junkyard. He's a dog that we got about a year ago now, or maybe 8 months ago. But yeah, he looks a lot like Junkyard, especially Junkyard from the cartoon. He has more brown. And then here's my favorite 1984 character that I remember getting at Sears at a big mall, and my Nana bought him for me. It was the day before we went to Canada's Wonderland, and we went on Whitewater Canyon, which is a new water ride. And but I remember getting him at that time, and on the card backs, his picture came out, and I remember just thinking how cool he was with the camo pants and his hat. He had that jungle hat, and his gun had like tape on it, and it just looked so realistic, and just a really cool character. I remember on his file card it said that he hated the cold, and that he loved being in the jungle. And well, here's a write-up of it here in the Bellamo book, and you can see if we can find the spot. It says Recondo was an excellent soldier, partly because of his function as a cadre member of the Jungle Warfare Training Center, and partly because of his long list of weapons proficiencies. Somewhere in there, I think it says that he, when he's in the jungle, he owns the jungle, and anybody else that's in there is trespassing, as far as he's concerned. So he's a really good jungle trooper. And then at the back there is 1984 Spirit. Came with Freedom, his eagle. And he was a tracker. And he was really famous for being in the 84 Revenge of Cobra cartoon when he fights Storm Shadow. And he was a shaman and kind of a mysterious type character, but very mystical as well, because he had a lot of wisdom, and just the way he spoke was very intellectual, and yeah, with a lot of thought, and I really enjoyed having him too as a kid, and it really brought another shape to the Joe team. And his file card was cool too, because it talked about his poor upbringing, and just about how he can actually help people in a mystical way with his wisdom, unlike kind of like modern shrinks. And that was kind of a joke that, you know, shrinks, they claim they can help people, but a lot of times, you know, it doesn't really turn out that way. But I think that was just a joke that Larry had on the back there of the file cards. And then over here is a look at the 84 Joe team on the catalog that came with vehicles. And there's the killer whale down there, hovercraft. A recon sled, that was always cool, pops out. And that's what I was talking about earlier. I would do so many battle scenes where all the Joes would be running out to engage Cobra. And I liked having it on the flag too, because you could pull up next to the flag and then put the landing gear out and have them all go up onto the flight deck of the flag, go and get some lunch or whatever they were going to do. There's the slugger there with Thunder. Okay guys, that's a quick little look at the 1984 G.I. Joe team. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Okay, hi. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who has watched my videos and commented on them and sent me emails and communicated with me on social media and different things. You know, people like Michael Mercy and Obi, Renegade Biker 24, Josh and Lore, Chase C, Dan Jammin 905, aka Cooley D, Eric Lutz, Chris Maiwa from Holland, Scuba Pete, Kinfit, Mate Mylar, HCC 788, Dave Fitzpatrick, and hope I didn't forget too many people. Yeah, anyone who's talked to me about my videos, and even people who, you know, maybe made some funny comments that they're not very good, that's cool too. I like those too. So hopefully in the future I can keep making some videos and you know, make them entertaining enough for people to enjoy them. And oh yeah, Joseph Fonesh, that's another guy that I want to make sure that I mention, that is a really really good person, and I enjoy having him as a friend. So, but yeah, okay. So we'll talk another time, and have a really good day or night whenever you watch this thing. Okay, bye.